It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This one taken just inside the 10 and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop. Yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
I'm fine, ready?
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
After the turnover, it's Tua. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them,
and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On one, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their second possession.
And I do like that word that you just used, reset, right? In a lot of ways, it's just shaking off what happened before, starting fresh, almost like it's your first drive all over again. Go out and put your best foot forward.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here we go.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
12, 12, 12.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And again, that's Hurst. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And that's how you shake off the interception he threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The Bengals at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been...
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
From the 39, Tua. Caught on the right side by Jones. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe him.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party.
Come on, set.
Here's Mostert, toss left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, you see the speed there of Daxton Hill reaching him before he could get back to the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Okay, ready?
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. DJ Reader breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. .31 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's...
And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready.
So now just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal.
Check snap. Ready.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Score that tackle for loss to the Wyoming alumnus, Logan Wilson.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and
No points whatsoever.
that's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker as to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
11.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Hey, go steal. Steal. Check steal.
Once again, it's Mostert. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Jones has it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. DJ Reader. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this 1st half. Two minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And that is no good. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Brandon Jones picking it off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go. 11, 11. 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11.
First down. Here's Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning.
The pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And it's intercepted. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And now, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay. Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 41, Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
It only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
12. Stop.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Now Burrow on first down. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
I'm wondering.
Second and 4.
12. 11.
Now it's Burrow. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly hopped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They played so well throughout this entire game.
On 2nd and 15 now. Tua getting this out to the flat. Mostert. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, here is Jones. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, a run with and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Bengals grab it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Mixon hit, and the ball is out.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now they go play action now. Burrow, he'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
12. 11 MT. Hey.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you've really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the post.
Von Bell up to make the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Von Bell. And the Bengals will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And that's now a half-dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
And credit the tackle to Brandon Jones.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Play action. It's Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
11 mighty.
Burrow will throw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They go play action with Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to within a score. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Tua. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff running left is Mostert. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And now Mostert is going to be stopped up short. He did not get there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They're going for it with Dolphins. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And can they take advantage? Their defense got the 4th down stop, and now they're hoping to find the end zone. A field goal wouldn't be enough to erase this 4th quarter deficit. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brandon Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
11, 11, 12, 12.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And he fires one, but incomplete. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
Now Hill to return it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 33-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Hey, more field. Ready.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he finds some open field here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 73 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were up there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll roll him, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Coming off of a Pro Bowl season 2020, many of us were stunned when Bradley Chubb had 0 sacks in 2021. That did come in only a 7-game season due to injuries. Cause for some concern, but he also had 19.5 sacks in his first 2 years as a full-time starter.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready, set.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you can just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown. And
that one spanning and even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
Ready.
So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. The 2 are going to try and throw for it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was, and one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Here we go.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
11.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Xavier Howard. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Ready.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one looks like he'll throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Bengals will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, two-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, Burrow. Connecting with Mixon. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
11.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. Now, I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Dolphins, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.